I'm Celia Keenan-Bolger.
I'm Maggie Keenan-Bolger.
I'm Andrew Keenan-Bolger.
And we're here to talk about
Fun
Home. So all of us have seen the show. How many times have you seen it?
I've seen it 3 times.
Me too, 3
I've
times.
seen it 5.
Winner. Before, while it was in workshops and things, I kept hearing this, story about this show that was coming that actually featured queer women, which I think is so rare in particularly mainstream music theater.
It's almost reductive to call it a queer or lesbian musical. Like it is actually, it does that amazing thing where it's able to cover even more ground than just this one thing. I mean, I feel like if you're in a family, then you should see Fun Home.
Which would pretty much make everyone.
Everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. All of us. All of us. I mean, I think that's the other amazing thing about this show is I was thinking about like my husband's parents and I was like, they have to see this show and they have no reference point, I think, except that they're a part of a family.
Favorite character who is not one of the Allisons?
Ooh.
The mom.
If you try to sell someone on this, it's about a lesbian girl growing up whose dad kills himself. It's some dark subject matter.
Yeah. I had sort of forgotten how funny the show is as well. Like it has this amazing balance of tackling something pretty serious and pretty deep, and yet you don't feel like, oh my God, that was just a nightmare to sit through. It was so sad. Their sense of humor and the way that they're able, both in the performances and in the writing, I feel like keep it very light.
All right, what is our favorite song?
Jason,
My
Jason,
Major
Jason.
Joe.
Oh, we all have different ones.
Oh.
Very good.
How did Sam Gold, the director, he has spent so much time with this piece, and I saw it in the lab at the Public, where it was very heavy on sort of animation and using Alison Bechdel's drawings as a backdrop, and then he reimagined it completely for the next version at the Public, and then he reimagined it again completely in the round on Broadway. The result is that it's never been better.
In the round, where you have to work with a very specific set of tools that I feel like you can start to notice really quickly, be like, oh yeah, they're turning around so that everyone
Can
sees
see.
the faces of, but I feel like, yeah, and the lighting and the set were so perfect, where I was like, okay, they have now incorporated the comic book, the squares and the things where it was like, in a way that is so seamless and so natural, but also so poignant and expressive.
I also think putting it in the round makes it incredible for Broadway because it feels so much more intimate and immersive, where there will be parts of staging where the characters come so close to you and where they're far away to someone else, but you feel like you have this special moment with them where just a pack of the audience can see into these people's eyes, like in an up-close way that you just can't do in a proscenium theater.
In a proscenium, you're all sort of sitting next to each other, and in the round, you're all watching each other watch this musical, which has its own sort of extra layer of emotion and of a shared experience. Favorite Allison?
Oh, Middle Young.
No, you can't. No, you can't say all 3.
Can we talk about Beth Malone for a second? Because that
Please.
performance...
I feel like it's one of the great musical theater performances. That kind of performance in a Broadway musical is really hard to come by, and she's the center of the entire show. I mean, it all revolves around her, and I feel like as soon as it starts, you're like, oh, I'm in such good hands. Like, this person is going to take care of me for the rest of this musical.
If none of those topics resonate with you,
Yes.
you will feel like they do because in her hands, she delivers them so well. Who would you recommend this show to?
Everyone.